This isn't an easy connection. From the very start, the relationship between Keng and Namping carries weight, tension, and big lessons for both of them. In their series Kengharit, you can feel that intensity in every look and every silence. But what is it about this bond that makes it so powerful and so challenging at the same time? Hello stars, welcome back to my channel where I analyze the relationship horoscopes of your favorite BL couples. If you are new here, my name is Beatrice, I'm a professional astrologer and huge BL fan, and today I'm taking a closer look at the relationship chart of Keng Namping. At this point I want to mention that I've already published a video about another Domundi couple, Zinunyu. If you want to watch it, you'll find the link in the description. Keng was born on the 19th of August 1999 and his love horoscope feels like a fire that never really goes out. His chart is full of planets in fire signs, which means passion, courage, and a strong need to live and love with intensity. He's not someone who loves halfway. When he loves, he does it with his whole heart, loudly, proudly, and with a deep desire to be seen and chosen. At the center of his chart is the Sun in Leo. The Sun shows who we are at our core, and Leo is the sign of the heart, romance, performance, and self-expression. Keng was born to shine. He wants a love story that feels special, dramatic, and meaningful. Right next to his Sun is Venus in Leo, and Venus is the planet of love, attraction, and relationships. This makes love one of the most important themes in his life. He needs affection, admiration, and warmth. He wants to feel that he is someone's number one. But Venus is retrograde, which means its energy turns inward. This often shows a person who loves deeply but questions love a lot. Keng may replay old relationships in his mind, wonder if he gave too much or not enough, and he takes love very seriously. He doesn't fall in love lightly, even if it looks like that from the outside. Inside, love is a sensitive subject. His Sun and Venus form tense connections to the asteroids Chiron and Juno in Scorpio. Chiron is known as the wounded healer and shows deep emotional wounds, while Juno represents commitment and long-term partnerships. Scorpio energy is intense, emotional, and sometimes painful. This tells us that love brings powerful lessons for Keng. Relationships can touch old wounds related to trust, jealousy, or fear of betrayal. He may attract partners who change him deeply, sometimes through emotional pain, but also through healing. There is another challenging aspect from his Sun and Venus to Mars in Scorpio. Mars is the planet of desire, passion, and anger. This makes his love life intense and magnetic, but also complicated. Passion can turn into power struggles. Love, desire, and maybe also jealousy are deeply connected for him, but he must learn how to handle strong emotions without hurting himself or others. His Mars adds emotional depth and strong desire, but it's also part of a white T-square with Saturn and Uranus. Saturn is the planet of responsibility and limits, while Uranus is the planet of freedom and sudden change. This pattern shows inner tension between stability and freedom. In love, Keng may want safety and loyalty, but at the same time he fears feeling trapped. Relationships may start suddenly or change direction quickly, especially if he feels restricted. Keng's Mercury in Leo shows how he thinks and communicates. Mercury is the planet of the mind and speech. He speaks from the heart with warmth and confidence. Mercury forms a supportive connection to Pluto and Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius. Pluto is about transformation and truth, while Lilith represents raw, honest emotions and independence. This gives Keng a powerful voice. He can talk about deep or even taboo topics in a way that moves people. He has a natural talent for expressing feelings, stories, and emotions that others may be afraid to say out loud. However, Mercury also squares Jupiter in Taurus. Jupiter is the planet of growth and beliefs. This can make him sometimes promise too much or expect too much, especially in love. He may believe strongly in love ideals, but reality sometimes moves slower than he hopes. Jupiter square Neptune adds a dreamy side. Neptune is the planet of fantasy and ideals. This can make him idealize love, see the best in people, or hope that love will fix everything. When reality doesn't match the dream, disappointment can follow. One of the most important points in his chart is the North Node in Leo. The North Node shows life direction and what the soul is learning. In Leo, his path is about courage, self-expression, performance, and leading with the heart. It is closely connected to Mercury and Ceres. Asteroid Ceres is linked to caring, nurturing, and teaching. This fits perfectly with his past as a teacher. In love and life, Keng is meant to communicate, guide, and inspire others. With this combination of the North Node, Mercury, and Ceres in Leo, I think that later in his career he could be an amazing host in educational TV shows or TV shows for children. Finally, Uranus in Aquarius opposing the North Node shows that his life path is unusual. Love may come unexpectedly and not always follow traditional rules. He is here to learn how to stay true to himself even when love challenges him to change. In love, Keng is passionate, loyal, and deeply emotional. His heart is brave but also sensitive. His relationships are not easy, but they are meaningful. Love is not just romance for him, it's a journey of healing, growth, and becoming who he truly is. Namping was born on the 17th of February 2001, and his love horoscope feels like fresh air mixed with fire. His chart shows many planets in air and fire signs, which means that ideas, movement, curiosity, and passion are much stronger than emotions or practicality. He has only one planet in an earth sign and no planets in water signs, so feelings are not always easy for him to understand or express. Love for Namping starts in the mind and the spark of the moment, not from deep emotions. He falls in love through conversation, shared dreams, and excitement. At the center of his chart is the Sun in Aquarius. The Sun shows who we are at our core, and Aquarius is the sign of originality, freedom, and being different. In love, Namping needs space to be himself. He wants a partner who feels like a friend, someone he can talk to for hours, laugh with, and explore new ideas together. He does not like possessive or overly emotional relationships. Love must feel open, honest, and mentally alive. His sun is part of a strong T-square, a tense pattern that creates inner pressure but also great drive. Jupiter stands opposite Mars, creating push and pull energy. Jupiter is the planet of growth and curiosity, while Mars is the planet of desire, passion, and action. This can make Namping restless in love. Part of him wants variety, freedom, and endless conversations, while another part wants intensity and strong physical attraction. Both of these energies challenge his sun, which means relationships push him to grow and define who he really is. The sun also forms a square to Saturn, the planet of responsibility, obstacles, and life lessons. This aspect can make him cautious in love, even if he looks confident. Deep down, he may fear rejection or not being enough. He may take relationships very seriously and feel pressure to prove himself as a partner. Namping's moon sits in Sagittarius. The moon represents emotions and inner needs. Sagittarius energy needs freedom, honesty, and meaning. Namping feels happiest when love is like an adventure. He needs laughter, shared goals, and a sense that a relationship helps him grow as a person. Heavy emotional drama can feel overwhelming to him. His Mercury, the planet of thinking and communication, is in Aquarius, retrograde, and closely connected to Uranus, the planet of surprises and originality. This makes his mind fast, creative, and different. He thinks outside the box and communicates in a unique way. Retrograde Mercury shows that he thinks deeply before speaking and often revisits old thoughts. In love, he may struggle to say what he feels in a traditional way, but his words can be surprising, honest, and memorable. Mercury also forms a supportive aspect to Pluto, the planet of transformation. This gives him the ability to talk about deep topics and reveal truths that change relationships. When it comes to romance, his Venus in Aries tells a clear story. Venus is the planet of love and attraction, and in Aries it is bold, playful, and passionate. Namping falls in love quickly and directly. He likes the thrill of the chase and enjoys taking the first step. Venus is closely connected to asteroid Cupido, which symbolizes romantic desire and flirting. This makes him naturally charming and attractive. Love feels exciting, youthful, and full of sparks. Venus and Cupido form a strong connection to Pluto, adding depth and intensity. Even if his style looks light and playful, love can transform him deeply. Relationships may feel fated or powerful, leaving a lasting mark on his heart. Namping's Neptune conjunct Lilith and asteroid Fortuna in Aquarius adds a dreamy, magnetic aura. Neptune is the planet of imagination and illusion, Lilith represents raw, authentic desire, and Fortuna is linked to luck and fate. Together they give him a mysterious presence. People may project fantasies onto him, especially in romantic or creative settings. His soul path is shown by the North Node in Cancer. The North Node shows our destiny and what the soul is learning in this life. Cancer is about emotional connection, care, and bonding. Even though he is not naturally emotional, his life pushes him to learn how to feel, nurture, and truly connect with others. Namping's North Node forms a supportive link to asteroid Nike, which symbolizes success and victory, showing that emotional openness brings him success. Last but not least, asteroid Juno at the end of Pisces, at a so-called critical degree, is very important for love and partnership. Juno represents long-term commitment. Pisces is about compassion, empathy, and emotional fusion. This shows that deep down, Namping is meant to experience a soulful partnership where two people connect emotionally and creatively. This fits beautifully with working closely with a partner in acting. Through partnership, he learns vulnerability, trust, and emotional depth. In love, Namping starts with freedom, curiosity, and passion, but life gently guides him toward deeper emotional connection. His relationships are not just romance. They are lessons that help him grow into someone who can truly share his heart. Before moving on to the next part of the video, it helps to clearly see the contrast between these two birth charts. Keng loves with his heart first. For him, love is intense, personal, and deeply transformative. Relationships touch old wounds, but they also help him grow, heal, and understand himself better. Love is never casual for him. It is something that shapes his identity. Namping, on the other hand, approaches love through thinking, curiosity, excitement, and instant attraction. He needs freedom, inspiration, and a strong mental connection. Emotions don't always come easily, but partnerships slowly teach him how to open up, trust, and share more of his inner world. Heart and mind, fire and air, very different love languages, but also highly complementary. And with this contrast in mind, we can now move into the synastry and explore what happens when these two worlds meet. When we look at the synastry, the compatibility chart between Keng and Namping, we see a connection that is powerful, challenging, and impossible to ignore. Whether this bond is romantic, creative, or a deeply emotional friendship, it clearly activates important parts of both of their charts. This is not a light connection. It is one that changes both people. At the heart of KengNamping is a strong polarity. Keng's Sun and Venus in Leo stand opposite Namping's Sun in Aquarius. The Sun represents who we are, and Venus is the planet of love and attraction. Leo wants warmth, closeness, and emotional recognition, while Aquarius needs distance, freedom, and independence. This creates a classic opposites attract dynamic. They naturally notice each other, but they also challenge each other. Keng may feel that Namping is emotionally detached at times, while Namping may feel overwhelmed by Keng's intensity. Still, this tension keeps the relationship alive and exciting. This opposition is made more serious by Namping's Saturn. Saturn is the planet of responsibility, limits, and long-term lessons. Its contact with Keng's Sun and Venus can make the relationship feel important and meaningful, but also heavy. There may be moments where one feels judged, restricted, or emotionally tested. At the same time, Saturn can give durability. If they chose to work through difficulties, this aspect can help them build trust and respect over time. There is also a strong healing theme between them. Chiron, the asteroid connected to emotional wounds and healing, plays a big role. Keng's Sun and Venus connect positively to Namping's Chiron, while Namping's Sun activates Keng's Chiron and Juno, the asteroid linked to commitment and partnership. This means their relationship touches sensitive places in both of them. They may trigger old insecurities, but also help each other understand those wounds. This is the kind of bond where both people grow through vulnerability. The communication between them is intense but not always easy. Keng's Mercury, the planet of thinking and speaking, is opposite Namping's Neptune and Lilith. Neptune is the planet of dreams, fantasy, and confusion, while Lilith represents raw, unfiltered emotions. This can create misunderstandings, mixed signals, or moments where one person idealizes the other too much. Words can be inspiring, poetic, or deeply emotional, but also unclear. The same theme appears with Keng's Jupiter, the planet of beliefs and expansion, challenging Namping's Neptune Lilith energy. Together, this shows a bond where hope and illusion are closely connected. They may dream big together, but they must stay grounded to avoid disappointment. Mental sparks fly strongly between them. Namping's Mercury conjunct Uranus, a sign of quick thinking, originality, and surprises, clashes with Keng's Mars, the planet of action and desire. Conversations can be exciting, sharp, and full of energy, but also argumentative. They stimulate each other's minds, yet may push each other's buttons. This can show creative tension, especially in teamwork, acting, or shared projects. Desire and emotional healing are deeply intertwined here. Namping's Mars, which shows drive and passion, connects directly to Keng's Chiron and Juno. This suggested closeness, physical presence, or shared action activates strong emotional responses. Their bond can feel intimate and intense even if it's not romantic. It makes them feel that they are important in each other's life even when things are complicated. On a deeper level, there is a powerful transformational energy. Keng's Uranus trinamping's Pluto shows that they inspire change in each other. Uranus brings sudden insight and freedom, while Pluto brings deep transformation. Together, they can push each other to evolve, especially through creative or public work. There is also strong emotional and spiritual support. Keng's Neptune forms gentle, harmonious connections with Namping's Mars and Jupiter. Neptune softens Mars' intensity and expands Jupiter's optimism. This brings compassion, inspiration, and the feeling that they support each other's dreams. It is especially helpful in creative or artistic settings. One of the most magnetic aspects is the link between Keng's Pluto-Lilith conjunction and Namping's Neptune-Lilith conjunction, supported by asteroid Pallas Athena, the symbol of wisdom and creative strategy. This creates a deep, almost instinctive understanding. They understand each other beyond words. The connection feels fated, intense, and mentally stimulating, especially when working together or creating something meaningful. Last but not least, Namping's Venus and Cupido, symbols of love, attraction, and romantic spark, connect beautifully with Keng's North Node and Ceres, points linked to life direction and nurturing. This shows that being around Namping helps Keng move forward on his life path, while he himself offers Namping emotional support and guidance. This aspect works well in any kind of relationship, especially in environments where care, growth, and creativity matter. Overall, Keng and Namping have a complex and powerful connection. It mixes attraction with tension, healing with challenge, dreams with reality. Whether they are lovers, close friends, or something in between, this is not a passing connection. It is one that leaves a mark, teaches important lessons, and has the potential to transform both of them in lasting ways. When we analyze the composite chart, we are no longer looking at two separate people, but at the energy of the relationship itself. A composite chart shows what a relationship wants to be and how it functions when they are together. Earth is the strongest element here. Earth energy is about stability, reliability, and building something real. This already tells us that whatever this connection is, work partners, close friends, or something more, it is not meant to be superficial. It wants to last and to create something tangible. At the center of the composite chart is the Sun in Taurus. The Sun shows the heart and purpose of the relationship. Taurus is about consistency, loyalty, and slow but steady growth. Together, Keng and Namping create a bond that wants safety and trust. This is not a fast or dramatic connection on the surface. It grows over time. Taurus energy values commitment, routine, and shared values, which makes this an excellent placement for long-term collaboration or partnership. Taurus is especially important in their composite chart because there is a cluster of planets here, giving the relationship a strong grounding effect. Even if things feel complicated emotionally or mentally, there is always a pullback to what is real, practical, and dependable. The simple composite chart using only planets shows few aspects and many of them are challenging. This suggests that the relationship does not run on autopilot. It needs effort. But once we include asteroids, the deeper meaning becomes much clearer. The composite sun is part of a mystic rectangle, a rare and meaningful pattern. This shape mixes tension and harmony, showing a relationship that grows through challenges but has built-in solutions. The sun in Taurus is linked to the North Node in Cancer, which represents the shared life direction. Cancer is about emotional bonding, care, and creating a sense of home. Together they are meant to learn emotional closeness and mutual support. This is balanced by Mars and asteroid Fortuna in Scorpio, showing intensity, passion, and fated moments, and by Juno in Capricorn, the asteroid of commitment and responsibility. Their mystic rectangle shows a bond where emotional depth, duty, and long-term goals are tightly connected. Overlapping this is a grand cross, a very dynamic and demanding pattern. Juno opposing the North Node shows tension between emotional closeness and responsibility. At the same time, asteroid Amor, representing deep love, opposes Valentine, romantic affection. This shows a push and pull between spontaneous attraction and deep emotional intensity. The Grand Cross constantly asks, do we act on impulse or do we go deeper and commit? Asteroid Fortuna at the end of Scorpio at a critical degree is extremely important. Critical degrees feel urgent and intense. Fortuna represents fate and turning points. This tells us that this connection brings powerful, sometimes even life-changing moments, especially through emotional or creative experiences. There is also a T-square involving the Sun, Eros, symbolizing desire and passion, and Fortuna, all squaring asteroid Karma. Karma represents lessons carried over time. This pattern shows that desire, purpose, and fate collide in this relationship in order to teach KengNamping responsibility, maturity, and awareness. Nothing about this bond is random. The composite moon in Sagittarius brings openness and honesty. The moon shows emotional needs. Sagittarius wants freedom, growth, and meaning. Together they need space to breathe and to keep learning from each other. Laughter and shared adventures help them handle heavier moments. Composite Mercury in Taurus shows how they communicate. Mercury is the planet of thinking and speaking. In Taurus, communication is calm, practical, but sometimes stubborn. Words matter and promises are taken seriously. Mercury is part of a kite pattern which shows talent and flow. At the top is asteroid Hera linked to devotion and partnership. Opposite Hera is a conjunction of Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn, mixing expansion and responsibility. These energies work smoothly with Nike, Pallas Athena, and Cupido, the asteroids of success, wisdom, and attraction. This is excellent for working together, planning long-term projects, and building a shared public image. Composite Venus in Gemini adds lightness. Venus is the planet of love and attraction, and in Gemini it enjoys conversation, curiosity, and mental connection. Venus trine Uranus in Aquarius brings excitement and originality. They keep each other interested. However, Venus also squares Pallas Athena and Nike in Virgo, showing that love and affection must balance strategy, work, and goals. Finally, Uranus squaring the Mercury-Jupiter-Saturn conjunction shows tension between stability and change. One part of the relationship wants security, another wants innovation and freedom. Learning to balance these two needs is key. Keng and Namping came together to shape each other's paths, not just to share feelings. Their composite chart describes a serious, meaningful bond with strong karmic and fated themes. Whether as co-workers, friends, lovers, or something in between, this relationship carries weight. It's not always easy, but it's purposeful. A connection meant to build something real, to grow through responsibility, and to leave a lasting impact on both their lives. As we close this chapter, new stories are already waiting. In the next videos, we'll explore the relationship between two other BL ships, looking at Pon Puwin and also Shujin from Kill to Love. Until next time, shine bright like the stars.